I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can. What's popping, people? It's your boy Element TV. I'm just doing something real quick, but I thought I might as well make this into a stream. Kind of didn't want to do this, to be honest. I was contemplating it, but it was something that I really wanted to get off my chest and talk about, because it was bothering me. So actually, let me finish doing this before I get into what I was gonna say. I believe it's this one. Yeah. Sorry, but if you guys can hear, I'm a bit sick, but hopefully it goes away soon. Been sick for a while, but for a few days. I thought I'll be well by now, but kind of didn't happen, you know. But yeah, paste that in here. Damn, I don't have the freaking dimension though, do I? Yeah, no, I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna put this over here. Over here? No, I'm gonna put it here so that you guys can see the chat. So yeah, hopefully the music's not too loud, but yeah, we're just gonna get into it. Yeah, so obviously, well, I'll talk about today. So today, I was gonna go to work and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying, and then go to college, do tutorials and all of that, but I'm still ill, and so it took me time to get out of my bed and stuff like that. And then when I was ready to go into the shower, I started crying. So I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on. Like, kind of confused, like, why am I crying for? Like, this ain't me. Like, what's going on? So I start deep in like random things, like random stuff, just my life in general, and the future, and where I am currently, and what I want to do. And I was just confused. And I think the reason I was crying was because I was confused. It could be something else. I'm not too sure myself, but yeah. So I was just thinking to myself, like, what do I do? Like, at this point, I felt lost. I was feeling lost, and I'm still feeling lost now. But yeah, that happening, I couldn't sorry, I'm just trying to sort something out. Flipping out. But yeah, so that being said, I was thinking about to the times where I felt like this before, and I want to say 2-3 years ago, I felt like this. I was like very lost, personally, and I didn't know like who to talk to or who to ask, or partly I didn't know who to talk to because I didn't want to talk to anyone about it. And that's kind of like the same reason I didn't want to do this video, because like, do I really want to put this out? But I guess I'm doing it and stuff. So I just want to talk about basically how other people might be in my situation, and maybe what they want to do the same thing and not talk about it, and not tell anyone or ask anyone about how they're feeling. Cause maybe some people they just like me, they just don't want to talk about it in general, or maybe they feel like nobody will understand and there's no help out there for them, even though there is, and literally just talking about it to anybody will help. We still just don't have this need to do that. we still don't want to do it, even though we know it will help. We're just stubborn, I guess. And I don't know. I guess literally that's just what it is. But I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Seems a bit loud. Now I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Okay, I just answered the phone and they just hung up. Okay, but yeah. So as I was saying, hopefully you can still, stuff is still being heard. But let me just check the stream to make sure actually that it is still, as I was saying. Okay, yeah, it's fine. I forgot what I was talking about now, but yeah. So like before, I thought I had split personality disorder, like, or I was bipolar, and I never really went to like a GP or anything like that to check out what it might be. Like I didn't find out, like, 'cause I thought I was just tripping. I was like, oh, I'm just being stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not me, and it's a phase, innit? I was young. I'm saying, and yeah, so a lot was going through my head, and it was going through my head now. I don't have to put it. So anyway, today I was like, you know what, let me like look at a few things and see if I can do a self-diagnostics. I always do self-diagnostics, but yeah, I thought, let me see what's going on. So I thought, why don't I take this step with you guys, because obviously me going through these things, like people that like, it's gonna affect me obviously, and it's gonna affect the things that I do and things that I don't do. So for example, YouTube, I'm not in a state of mind where I want to edit videos and put them out, so obviously that impacts that aspect. And there are people that do watch the video and do enjoy them. I remember a while ago I was like, I don't want to stop doing YouTube, and then a couple of my people said, no, don't stop doing YouTube, keep doing it, blah blah blah. So that, you know what I'm saying, motivated me and stuff like that. But I am mentally, like, I can't sit down and like today I was like, all right, cool, I can't go to work because like I don't want to like restart that flipping healing process, you know what I'm saying? Like the day I started doing the 2-job thing, that's when I get ill, you know what I'm saying? Like I haven't been ill for a while. So obviously me working in an environment where there's food and other people and stuff like that, I can't be going there with runny nose and coughing and sneezing and flipping my state of mind as well. When I was getting ready to leave, I was just like, my head, I was just, that's when like my mind was doing bits in it. So obviously I can't be going to work and then I'm crying and then people ask me what's wrong and I don't even want to talk about it anyway. So it's just like, what? But yeah, because I'm just one of those people, and I don't like to talk about my problem. I don't like to look for help in it. But if somebody was to come to me dead ass, I would tell them in it if I feel comfortable doing it. But yeah, everything's it's hard to explain in there. Like obviously I'm not a doctor and I don't know what going and what's going on and in my head and stuff like that. But and I'm saying, I've got a couple tabs open, we're gonna go through them. And one thing I need to say before we go into that though is, like, if you know somebody might be going through something, if you have a hunch or an idea, or if they have gone through something like deep and you feel like, I'm saying, it might affect them, or even if you feel like it won't affect them, just be there in it, like, for them, because you never really know, they might not want to talk about it like me, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, people go through stuff, you know what I'm saying, on a daily. And like, I was thinking to myself when I was crying earlier, like, why am I feeling this way? Like my life isn't as bad as I'm thinking it isn't. It's not that severe. It's not that serious. So I was just wondering, and I'm saying it's like I don't know what it is. Like legit, I don't even know myself. Like what's going on in my mind in it. Like I saw something and it was like, is your mind a scary place? And I was thinking to myself, like, it kind of is. Like, I feel like my mind literally controls itself. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say, but like I can't control my own thoughts sometimes. But yeah, so if you know anybody that might be going through something, or it is like you know what I'm saying, check upon them, innit, like see how they are and stuff like that, because you never really know what people are going through, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you care about them, innit, you should definitely be there for them. Because even the other day, I think last month, I heard like someone in my friend's school, they committed suicide in it. So you don't know what that person was going through, and I'm saying maybe if that person had someone to talk about, then they wouldn't have done what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously we live in a first world country. It's not as hard as sorry, it's not as hard as it could be, but still, I really just don't know what it is. But like we go through things as well in it. Like it's not the same problems. Everyone's problems not the same in it. They're different. But yeah, like people have their own struggles. You know what I'm saying, whether it's education or just life in general, or health issues or mental issues. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be anything in it. Especially living in this day and age when we're meant to be like, we're meant to do better, you know what I'm saying? Like every generation should be doing better than the last. And I don't know, like I guess when certain people are confused about certain things, you're like really confused, and it messes with your mindset, innit? Like it's hard, innit? But yeah. Anyway, let's just go into this, innit, and see what you find in it. So I got a couple of tabs open. Say depression, split personality disorder. Because sometimes I feel like, all right, cool, yeah, everything's all calm, everything's all happy. Next thing you know, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm deep in things. Next thing you know, like I don't know. So I got that up, and I got bipolar. I'm saying, so I'm just gonna be researching this stuff and going through them, and yeah, if anybody has any input, you know what I'm saying, leave a comment in the chat, or if you want to like have a conversation about like your own experiences, then click the link in the description below, and then we can have a conversation and talk about it on stream if you want to. But yeah, so cool. I got this one article, I guess it is The Pursuit of Happiness, Bringing the Science Happy to Life. Depression test. Am I depressed? A few hopeful words about depression. Experiencing depression is a little like finding ourselves in a hole. If this hole is shallow enough, we may be able to climb out by ourselves. Yeah. We might need a few climbing skills. We call these skills the 7 habits of happy people. You can track your progression by taking the skills-based happiness quiz. If the hole is too deep and we don't have the confidence to climb out by ourselves, we may need a ladder, i.e. pharmaceutical treatment. Or we may need someone to climb down and try pull us out, i.e. talking with a qualified specialist about the problem. For more information, to visit blah 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 the website. About the test, this depression test is called the PHQ-9, and the PHQ-9 is one of the most commonly used depression screening tools in the world. It is used by clinics, research for individual. Hold on a second. But yeah, I forgot what I was reading. I think I'm gonna turn this music off for a little bit. It's kind of jarring, to be honest, to me for a little kind of. So in fact, I'm just gonna turn it like all the way down. But alright, so let's finish reading about the test. Depression test is called that. Most commonly used, it is used by clinicians, whatever that word says, researchers for individual assessment and large-scale reports, including census reports conducted by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. The science behind the test. The science behind the test. The depression test is based on 9 symptoms described in the DSM-IV, the Standard of Diagnostics Manual on Mental Health Disorder, developed by the American Psychiatric Association. BNI had been found to be a valid and reliable measure of depression, was authorized by whatever that says there. After you take this depression test, when considering your results, it is important to note that depression can be caused by 3 common components: genetics, personal habits, or life circumstances. To learn more about life skills and personal habits that lead to greater happiness, try our happiness quiz. Speaking with a mental health provider could enable you to understand the causes of your depression and find appropriate treatment. Modern science is finding growing numbers of effective treatment for most types of depression. Note, we strongly recommend that discussing the results of this test with a specialist, especially if your score indicates depression. Think twice before taking this test alone. If you do not plan on taking action after discovering your score indicates depression, why are you taking it? Discovering it, depression without taking action might make you more depressed. Users of this test should not rely on these results for a diagnosis. Questions should be addressed to your own physician. Okay, so boom, saying there that if you're going to take this test and you find out that you are having depression, then you should definitely go and seek professional help. I'm saying don't sit on it. But yeah, so before we do that, I'm gonna read this thing right here. I basically presume like what depression is. So here it says, depression is a common mental disorder that causes people to experience depressed moods, loss of interest or pleasure, feelings of guilt or low self-worth, disturbed sleep or appetite, low energy and poor concentration. Depression is different from feeling down or sad, and I can relate to most of this, if not all. I'm saying I'll be doing something and I'm just standing there thinking about something completely different than from what I'm meant to be doing. I'm saying like poor concentration, disturbed sleep, or appetite, feeling guilty. I do feel guilty about a lot of things, and I feel like I shouldn't. Like it's not my place to be feeling guilty about that certain thing, because I haven't done anything wrong. Anything, it should be someone else that's feeling guilty, not me. But I wouldn't say currently I have a low self-worth. I would say like before probably did. I feel like I'm useless, like what's my purpose, like I bought a whole bunch of that type of stuff. But yeah, like I said, depressed moods, obviously, lots of interest. Yeah, I lose interest of stuff pretty quickly. I feel like that's just a general thing. Like it's not because of depression, but it could be looked to it. But yeah, we're gonna take this test now. If you guys wanna take it with me, I'll post a link in the description in case you guys wanna go to it. Probably not. I don't even know if anyone's here. But yeah, it is what it is. Can you click on it? Yeah, it's there. Boom. But yeah, this thing is just all about like being aware and just know that people are going through this stuff, and I am maybe one of them, but yeah, I guess I'll put only to send the details, quiz results, and news about how to improve the school. We do not share this information with third parties. Alright, so I'm gonna put my name. Sorry. So yeah, boom. For y'all that didn't know my name, that's my name, but I'm pretty sure most people do, because it's only like people that are close to me that subscribe to this channel. Email address, so that in there. Over the last 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by anything of following problems? By any of the following problems: little interest or pleasure in doing things. Wait, hold on, I kind of don't understand this question. Over the last 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by anything? Not at all. Any of the problem? How bothered have you been? Little interest in doing things. So would it be like nearly every day I have little interest or pleasure in doing things? I'm gonna say more than half the days. Why did I say more than half the days? Yeah, I would say definitely more than half the days. I'm not bored about being going to work, college, doing anything YouTube wise, or like making content, feeling down, depressed. More than half the days. Trouble falling or staying asleep. Trouble falling asleep problem. I think that all contradictory, like, so you can't go to sleep, but when you do go to sleep, you can't stay asleep. I sleep too much. When I fall asleep, I don't have a problem staying asleep, but sometimes I have problems going to sleep. Yeah, sometimes I do sleep too much. I feel like I slept a lot more though, like when I was younger, but I have to put I put several days. Feeling tired or having little energy. I'll say several days. I feel like this one and that one, this feeling tired and having that, and this one as well, I had that more when I was younger, but I think that's because I was more overweight, so I was less energetic. And just when you're overweight, then these things are more prone to happen. So, but yeah, poor appetite or overeating. Nah, not at all. Poor appetite or overeating. Feeling bad about yourself, or that you are a failure or have let yourself and your family down. Shit, they sound a lot like me. I would say more than half the days, yeah. Trouble concentrating on things such as reading the newspaper or watching TV. Moving or speaking too so slowly that other people could have no. Being so fidgety or relentless that you have been moving around a lot more than usual. I would say the moving slowly one. Like when I was working, I was moving mad slow. but that might be because I was ill. I just speak slowly on a regs, but I'll say several days. Thoughts that you would be better off dead or hurting yourself in some way. You see, now this one, I do feel like a lot, especially like today. Like I would be better off dead. Like not like even better off dead. I just like wish the world just ended and just like Judgment Day just happened already. Flipping off, and that's so me. Shit. Trying to think, how often do I think like that though? Hold on 1 second, I need to check something. Let me check something real quick. I'm gonna say that, yeah. So it's somewhat difficult. We're back. Even if you can you guys hear me? Alright, yeah, cool. My flipping throat hurts, man. Okay, that's it. At the end, we're gonna hit submit. Score is 11 points. You may be one of those many people experience minor depression or dysthymia. Experiencing depression is a little like finding yourself now. Oh, okay, yeah, you already said that one. So we're gonna open this up and that up. Moderate, you know. Print screen that, and we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna type in what this is. I literally paste, nigga. What the flip? Okay. Go straight up Google search then, innit?
Dysthymia.
Dysthymia. Okay, persistent mild depression is someone. At least 2 years of dysthymia led to recurring major depression in some. Okay, so if for 2 years you have minor depression, it could lead to major depression. Dysthymia, persistent depression disorder. Disorder consistent of the same cognitive and physical problems as depression, with less severe but longer lasting symptoms. Chronic depression. With less severe but longer lasting symptoms. This concept was coined by Robert Spitzer as a replacement for the term depressive personality in the late 1980s, into the 4th edition of the Gnostics. Is 1 year for children and adolescents. Is less acute and severe. Yeah. Less acute and severe than major depression. Okay, cool. As it is a chronic disorder, sufferers may experience symptoms that may for many years before it is diagnosed. If diagnostics occur at all, as a result, they may believe that depression is a part of their character, so they may not even discuss their symptoms with doctors, family members or friends. See, that's what I was saying. I thought like that's just a part. Okay, cool. Dysthymia often co-occurs with other mental disorders. A double depression is the occurrence of episodes of major depression. In addition to dysthymia, switching between periods of dysthymic moods. Now this is getting deep as hell. Shizzle, man, nizzle. Okay, so let's see what this is first. I don't think you need this open. We're gonna close that for now. It's a complication of a psychiatric illness called two other symptoms of clinical depression. such as low energy or low self-esteem. This lasts for at least 2 years in adults. That was done last year. Alright, cool. So what WebMD is saying, we're about to learn that between 3 and 6% of the population are at risk from a form of chronic loss and depression. The results are called double depression. Like all forms of depression, double depression cause problems with daily functioning and quality of life and carry the increased risk of suicidal thoughts or behaviors. Treatment can help, but many people delay or avoid getting this help that could save their lives. What is double depression? Double depression is already read that part. This low dark mood, sometimes described as a vial of sadness, occurs nearly every day and can sometimes persist for many years. Some people may have this mood disorder from 10 to 20 years, even more, for 10 to 20 years or even more before seeking treatment. Over time, more than half the people with dysthymia experience worsening symptoms that lead to onset of full syndrome of major depression. Superimposed on their dysthymia disorder results into what kind? And that's double depression. Difference between depression and a major depression is a low-grade chronic depression, the full depressive syndrome and double depression, but not in the major depression alone. This means that for people with non-chronic major depression alone, there's usually baseline moods is normal, but people with double depression may never know what normal is. Non-depressive mood is may have never known what a normal non-depressive mood is. Okay, cool. And about 1 in 5 people who have experienced an episode of major depression. This syndrome can become chronic and persist for 2 years or longer. Modern diagnostic symptoms now classify the dysthymia disorder and chronic major depression together, called chronic depression, because they tend to do more similar than difference. For most people with major depression, though, a full episode typically lasts for a few weeks or months. This is a major drop in mood, accompanied by severe symptoms that may include hopelessness, insomnia or sleeping too much, thoughts of suicidal death, low self-esteem, loss of appetite or overeating, poor concentration, loss of interest in things that person used to like. Okay. Low energy or exaggeration, agitation, thoughts of worthlessness or guilt. There's another page. Oh shit. This quote right here used to trigger me, like, sorry, not this quote, these 4 words. But anyway, that's beside the point. Sure, why not? Let's flip in, get newsletters to see if they can help my mental state. Yep, cold and flu. See, it's everywhere. It's not just UK, US as well. Anywhere it's cold right now, it's hitting people. Found the flu's no joke, brethren. I look, want to see what this is about. These truths and facts. Myth, depressive, yeah, nah. Hell no. If you working hard, that ain't gonna get really a depression. But it is 1 in 6 people in some points of their life. So folks, the hard half truths. Completeness around one such idea, throw yourself into work and you'll feel better. For your mind, cause of the blues, this may indeed help, but depression is a different animal. Overworking can actually be a sign of clinical depression, especially in men. It's not a real illness. Okay. Men fly under the radar. Especially a depressed man, he loves his loved ones, and even a lot may not recognize depression. That's because men are less likely than women to talk about their feelings, and some depressed men don't appear sad or down. Instead, men may be irritably angry or restless. This may even lash out on others. Some men try to cope with depression through reckless behavior, drinking or drugs. Europe. Depression is just self-pity. Anyone can get depressed. Yeah, anybody. But think, oh, he's not the type to be depressed, blah blah blah. Could be anyone. Illness is twice as common in women as in men, but it may be that women are more likely to seek help. It's often first noticed in the late teens or 20s. Me, 21. One episode can develop at any age. Tough personal experience can sometimes trigger depression in people who are at risk of the illness, where it may develop out of the blue. It can sneak up slowly, yeah. Depression can creep up gradually, which makes it harder to identify as a sudden illness. A bad day turns into a rut, and you start skipping work, school, or social occasions. One type, called can last for years as a chronic low-level illness. A malaise that silently undermines your career and relationships, or depression can become a severe disabling condition with treatment may feel substantial relief. Help means drugs for life. Nah, I'm pretty sure you can get off medication eventually. Depressed people cry a lot. Yeah, nah, not always. Not always. Some people don't cry, even act terribly sad. Don't even cry even when they're depressed. That they are emotionally blank and may feel worthless or useless, even without dramatic symptoms. Undertreated depression prevents people from living to the fullest and take a toll on families. If depression appears in your family tree, you're more likely to get it too, but chances are you won't. People with a family history can watch for early symptoms of depression and take positive action promptly. Whether that means reducing stress, getting more exercise, consulting, or other professional treatment. Depression is part of aging. Depression imitates dementia. In seniors, depression can be the root cause of memory problems, confusion, and in some cases, delusions. Caregivers and doctors mistake these problems for signs for dementia or an age-related decline in memory. Getting treatment lifts the cloud of majority of people who are in depression. Psychotherapy can use meant for old adults with depression who may be coping with loss of medical illness and other changes. Talking makes things. Who ever said that? People were once advised not to dwell on problems by talking about them. Today, there's evidence that guided discussions with a professional can make things much better. Different types of psychotherapy help treat depression and address negative thought patterns, unconscious feelings, and relationship troubles. The first step is to talk to a mental health professional. Positive thinking may help. Yeah, I try to be positive a lot, and then no, even I do be positive a lot, but then the those negative thoughts are still there. They still come, and it's overwhelming. It really is. Let me see what this one's saying actually. When unhappiness lasts more than 2 weeks, there may be a sign of depression, which develops into about 1 in 11 teens. Other signs a teen may need help include being constantly sad or irritable, even when with friends, taking no pleasure in further activities, or a sudden drop in grades. You can studies show that regular, moderate, intense exercise can improve symptoms of depression and work, as well as some medicines for people with mild or moderate depression. Exercise with a group of good friends as social support, another mood booster. Okay, so exercise with your peeps. Reality is most people who take action to lift their depression do get better. In a large study of National Insurance, 70% of people became symptom-free through medications, though not always with the first medication. Studies show that the best treatment is often a combination of medication and talk therapy. It's not always depression. Some life events cause sadness or disappointment, but do not become clinical. Clinical depression. Grief is normal after a death, divorce, loss of a job, or diagnosed with a serious health problem. One clue of a needed treatment that sadness is constant every day, most of the day. When people are weathering difficult times, approximately they can usually be distracted or cheered up for a short period of time. Hope for better days is real. In the depth of depression, people may think there is no hope for a better life. This hopelessness is part of the illness, not a reality. With treatment, positive thinking gradually replaces negative thoughts. Sleep and appetite improves, and as the depressed mood lifts, and people who see a counselor. We'll deal with stress in life that can get you down. I'm not taking treatment yet, so I'm not going to go into that. We already have a whole bunch of other stuff to go through. Constant stress repose also cause changes in the body and increase the risks of heart disease, diabetes, and other medical conditions. Changes in the brain and the changes in the body complicate treatment for major depression when double depression occurs. Alright, we've got, how long have I been streaming already for? Okay, not an hour. I'm gonna try and cut this short and see. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to keep you guys too long. I know nobody's here anyway, but how should double depression be treated? Because I feel like something else fatal. Other people are responsible for the course of their lives. This is not typical feeling for people with major depression. Like, people with it have a feeling of having little or no control. Suggests that when in therapy, your heart. People who have one or more close friends are happier. It doesn't seem to matter if we have a large network of close relationships or not. What seems to make a difference is how often we cooperate in activities and share our personal feelings with a friend or relative. Active, constructive responding, which is the ability to express genuine interest in what people say and respond in encouraging ways, is a powerful way to enrich relationships and cultivate positive emotions. Acts of kindness, people who are volunteer, gonna make them feel happier. Exercise and physical well-being, keep moving and eat well. Regular exercise has been associated with improving mental wealth. Flow, find your flow. If we are deeply involved in trying to reach a goal or an activity that is challenging but we are studied for our skills, we experience a joyous state called flow. Many kinds of activities such as sports, playing an instrument, or teaching can produce this experience of flow, according to a pioneer of the science. Scientific studies of happiness. Flow is a type of motivation and do what you're doing primarily because you like what you're doing. If you learn only for external reasons, you will probably forget it as soon as you are no longer forced to remember what you want to do. Spiritual engagement and meaning. Discovering meaning studies goes between spiritual and religious practices are happy, and happiness spiritually is closely related to the discovery of greater meaning in our lives. As a psychologist, meaningful life will discover a deeper kind of happiness. Okay, strengths and virtues. Those who have discovered their unique strengths such as persistence and critical thinking, and virtues such as humanity, and those strengths and virtues for a purpose that are greater than their own personal goals. Authentic happiness using the new positive mindset, optimist, mindfulness and gratitude. Treasure gratitude, mindfulness and hope. All these areas studied in the relatively young field of positive psychology, gratitude has perhaps received the most attention. Grateful people have been shown to have a greater positive emotion, a greater sense of belonging, and lowering incidence of depression and stress. I'm a grateful person, definitely. So, only these things can make you a happier person. Let's say once or twice a month. Do you kind things for others? Burn on social media per day. I'll say that. How often do you at least 20 minutes of little once or twice a month. I know what my strengths and virtues are, and I use them creatively to improve the quality of my life. For example, I am patient and organized. In the traits of my job as an elementary school teacher. A deep sense of fulfillment in my life by using my strengths and skills towards a purpose greater than myself. kind of going on for a long while today, and I think it's been a good amount. It's been like an hour so far, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna end it here, and hope you guys were enlightened, or you took away something from this and you understand the situation. And if you're in a position to ever help somebody, that you will, because you could be saving their lives. But for now, I think I'm good. I'm done. And thank you guys if you came through, thank you for coming through and watching the video afterwards. And have a nice day. Peace.